In the vast universe of Dragon Ball, where warriors strive to surpass their limits and protect their loved ones, the story of Sun Wukong, known as Goku, unfolds once more. This tale begins in the aftermath of a fierce battle against a powerful foe, where Goku has suffered 6 near-fatal injuries, each one pushing him closer to the brink of death. Yet, it is through these trials that Goku's resilience and determination shine brightest, setting the stage for his transformation into a Super Saiyan and the unleashing of his true potential. The story is set on Earth, a planet constantly under threat from extraterrestrial forces, where Goku and his friends must stand as the last line of defense. The initial strength and skills of the characters are established through their training in past battles, but it is Goku's unyielding spirit that sets him apart. As the narrative progresses, the main conflict is revealed. A new, formidable enemy has emerged, one whose power rivals even the mightiest warriors in the universe. This adversary, whose name strikes fear into the hearts of all who hear it, seeks to conquer Earth and harness its energy for their own nefarious purposes. Goku, driven by his desire to protect his home and loved ones, prepares for the ultimate showdown. The initial fight scenes are intense and vividly described, with Goku and his opponent exchanging devastating blows, each attack and counterattack showcasing their immense power and skill. Goku's transformation into a Super Saiyan is a pivotal moment, marked by a surge of energy that radiates across the battlefield, his hair turning golden and his eyes blazing with determination. The battle reaches new heights as Goku's combat power skyrockets to an astonishing 150 million, a testament to his growth and the sacrifices he has made. The story is rich with detail, from the crackling energy of ki blasts to the earth-shaking impacts of their clashes, immersing the reader in the heart-pounding action. As Part 1 concludes, the stage is set for an epic confrontation, with Goku standing as Earth's last hope against an unstoppable force. The stakes have never been higher, and the battle for survival has only just begun. The battlefield was a chaotic storm of energy blasts, shattered terrain, and the deafening roar of clashing powers. Goku, now fully transformed into a Super Saiyan, stood at the center of the maelstrom, his golden aura blazing like a sun. His opponent, a towering, shadowy figure named Zarkon, loomed over him, his crimson eyes glowing with malice. Zarkon's power was immense, his energy radiating in waves that distorted the air around him. The two warriors had already exchanged dozens of blows, each strike shaking the earth and sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Goku's body ached from the relentless assault, but his determination burned brighter than ever. He clenched his fists, feeling the surge of his 150 million power level coursing through him. "This isn't over yet," Goku muttered, his voice steady despite the pain. "I've come too far to lose now." Zarkon sneered, his deep voice echoing like thunder. "You think your little transformation is enough to defeat me? I've crushed countless warriors stronger than you, Goku. Your power is nothing but a flicker in the face of my darkness." With a sudden burst of speed, Zarkon lunged forward, his massive fist aimed directly at Goku's chest. Goku barely had time to react, crossing his arms in front of him to block the strike. The impact sent him skidding backward, his feet carving deep trenches into the ground. Goku gritted his teeth, his muscles straining against the force of Zarkon's attack. He knew he couldn't keep up a purely defensive fight, he had to find a way to turn the tide. Summoning every ounce of his strength, Goku pushed back against Zarkon's fist, his golden aura flaring brighter. With a roar, he unleashed a powerful ki blast from his palms, forcing Zarkon to retreat momentarily. Goku seized the opportunity, darting forward with blinding speed. He aimed a series of rapid punches at Zarkon's torso, each strike landing with a resounding crack. But Zarkon was no ordinary opponent. With a grunt, he absorbed the blows and countered with a sweeping kick that caught Goku off guard. The Saiyan was sent flying, crashing into a nearby mountain with enough force to reduce it to rubble. As the dust settled, Goku emerged from the debris, his body battered but his spirit unbroken. He wiped a trickle of blood from the corner of his mouth and smirked. "You're tough, I'll give you that," he said, his voice filled with determination. "But I'm just getting started." Goku's eyes narrowed as he focused his energy, his aura intensifying. He began to channel his ki, drawing on the depths of his power. The ground beneath him cracked and splintered as his energy surged, and the air around him shimmered with heat. Zarkon watched with a mix of curiosity and disdain. "What's this? Another futile attempt to surpass me?" he taunted. But Goku wasn't listening. His mind was clear, his focus razor sharp. He remembered the countless battles he had fought, the friends he had lost, and the lessons he had learned. Each memory fueled his resolve, pushing him to new heights. With a deafening roar, Goku's power exploded outward, his aura expanding into a massive sphere of energy. The sheer force of his transformation sent shockwaves across the battlefield, forcing Zarkon to take a step back. Goku's hair spiked higher, and his muscles bulged with newfound strength. His power level skyrocketed, surpassing even his previous limits. "This is it," Goku said, his voice calm but filled with intensity. "This is the power of a true Super Saiyan." Zarkon's smirk faded as he felt the overwhelming energy radiating from Goku. For the first time, a flicker of doubt crossed his mind. But he quickly shook it off, his pride refusing to acknowledge the threat. "Impressive," Zarkon admitted, his voice laced with mockery. "But it won't be enough." He charged forward, his movements a blur of darkness and speed. Goku met him head-on, their fists colliding with a thunderous crash. The impact created a shockwave that shattered the surrounding landscape, sending rocks and debris flying in all directions. The two warriors exchanged a flurry of blows, each strike more powerful than the last. Goku's speed and agility allowed him to dodge and counter Zarkon's attacks, but the Dark Warrior's raw power was relentless. As the battle raged on, Goku began to notice a pattern in Zarkon's movements. Despite his immense strength, Zarkon relied heavily on brute force, leaving subtle openings in his defense. Goku's mind raced as he formulated a strategy. He needed to exploit those openings, but he also knew he couldn't afford to make a single mistake. With a deep breath, Goku focused his energy, preparing for a risky maneuver. He feinted to the left, drawing Zarkon's attention, and then instantly teleported behind him using his instant transmission technique. Before Zarkon could react, Goku unleashed a devastating Kamehameha wave, the blue energy blast slamming into Zarkon's back with full force. The explosion lit up the sky, and for a moment, it seemed as though Goku had gained the upper hand. But as the smoke cleared, Zarkon emerged, his body scorched but far from defeated. "Is that all you've got?" Zarkon growled, his voice dripping with rage. He retaliated with a massive energy blast of his own, the dark energy surging toward Goku like a tidal wave. Goku barely managed to deflect the attack, but the effort left him breathless. He realized that brute force alone wouldn't be enough to defeat Zarkon, he needed to push himself even further. Closing his eyes, Goku reached deep within himself, tapping into the well of power that lay dormant. He thought of his friends, his family, and the countless lives that depended on him. With a roar that echoed across the battlefield, Goku's aura exploded into a brilliant light, his power level surging beyond anything he had ever achieved. His hair turned a radiant gold, and his eyes burned with an intensity that could pierce through the darkest shadows. This is my final stand," Goku said, his voice filled with unwavering resolve. "For everyone I care about, I won't lose." Zarkon's eyes widened as he felt the sheer magnitude of Goku's power. For the first time, fear crept into his heart. But he quickly masked it with anger, charging forward with a desperate roar. The two warriors clashed in a final, earth-shattering confrontation. Their fists met with a force that seemed to tear the very fabric of reality, the shockwaves rippling across the battlefield. Goku's movements were a blur of speed and precision, each strike landing with pinpoint accuracy. Zarkon fought back with everything he had, but he was no match for Goku's newfound strength. With a final, devastating punch, Goku sent Zarkon crashing to the ground, the Dark Warrior's body crumpling under the force of the blow. As the dust settled, Goku stood victorious, his body battered but his spirit unbroken. He looked down at Zarkon, who lay motionless on the ground, and let out a weary sigh. "It's over," Goku said, his voice filled with a mix of relief and exhaustion. He turned his gaze to the horizon, where the first rays of dawn were beginning to break through the darkness. The battle had been won, but Goku knew that his journey was far from over. With a final glance at the battlefield, he took to the skies, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The final battle between Goku and the ultimate villain, a malevolent entity known as Zarkon, reached its climax as the skies above the battlefield churned with chaotic energy. Goku, now transformed into his Super Saiyan form, radiated an aura of golden light, his power level surging to an unprecedented 1.5 billion. Zarkon, a towering figure cloaked in darkness, unleashed a barrage of energy blasts that tore through the landscape, leaving craters in their wake. Goku dodged with lightning speed, his movements a blur as he countered with a flurry of punches and ki blasts, each strike resonating with the force of a collapsing star. The ground beneath them shattered, and the air crackled with the intensity of their collision. Despite his immense power, Goku could feel the strain of the battle pushing him to his limits. His muscles burned, his breath came in ragged gasps, and his vision blurred from the sheer exertion. Zarkon, sensing Goku's fatigue, smirked and taunted, "Is this the best the legendary Super Saiyan can do? Pathetic." Goku gritted his teeth, his determination flaring brighter than ever. He knew this was the moment that would determine the fate of the universe. As Zarkon charged forward, his claws extended and dripping with dark energy, Goku closed his eyes for a brief moment, centering himself. Memories of his friends and family flashed through his mind, Chi-Chi's unwavering support, Gohan's innocent smile, and the camaraderie of his fellow Z-fighters. These bonds fueled his resolve, and with a roar that shook the heavens, Goku unleashed a new level of power. His golden aura intensified, and his hair spiked even higher as he ascended to a new form, Super Saiyan 2. The transformation sent shockwaves across the battlefield, forcing Zarkon to stagger back. Goku's eyes burned with determination as he launched himself at Zarkon, their fists colliding in a blinding explosion of energy. The impact created a shockwave that rippled across the planet, toppling mountains and carving rivers into the earth. Goku pressed the attack, his movements faster and more precise than ever. He landed a devastating uppercut that sent Zarkon soaring into the atmosphere, followed by a rapid-fire barrage of ki blasts that lit up the sky like a meteor shower. Zarkon, however, was far from defeated. With a guttural roar, he absorbed the energy of Goku's attacks, his body swelling with dark power. "You fool," he bellowed. "Your energy only makes me stronger." Goku's eyes widened as Zarkon's form shifted, his body becoming more monstrous and grotesque. The villain's power level skyrocketed, matching and then surpassing Goku's. The two warriors clashed again, their blows creating shockwaves that threatened to tear the planet apart. Goku's body screamed in protest as he pushed himself beyond his limits, but he refused to back down. He knew that if he failed, the universe would fall into eternal darkness. As the battle raged on, Goku's allies watched from a safe distance, their hearts pounding with fear and hope. Vegeta, ever the proud warrior, clenched his fists in frustration. "Kakarot. Don't you dare lose," he muttered under his breath. Piccolo, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared to intervene if necessary, while Gohan and Krillin cheered Goku on, their voices drowned out by the cacophony of the battle. Bulma, monitoring the fight from her lab, analyzed the energy readings and gasped. "Goku's power is fluctuating. He's reaching his breaking point," she exclaimed. The tension was palpable as everyone realized that the outcome of this battle would shape the future of the universe. Goku, battered and bloodied, stood firm as Zarkon loomed over him, his dark energy swirling like a storm. "This is the end, Saiyan," Zarkon sneered, raising his hand to deliver the final blow. But in that moment, Goku's spirit ignited with a newfound strength. He remembered the words of his mentor, Master Roshi, "True power comes not from strength alone, but from the heart." With a surge of energy that defied all logic, Goku unleashed his ultimate technique, the Spirit Bomb. Drawing energy from every living being in the universe, he formed a massive sphere of pure light in his hands. The energy was so immense that it illuminated the entire battlefield, driving back the darkness. Zarkon's eyes widened in fear as he realized the magnitude of Goku's power. "No. This can't be." He screamed, but it was too late. Goku hurled the Spirit Bomb with all his might, the energy engulfing Zarkon in a blinding explosion of light. The aftermath of the battle was both triumphant and somber. The planet, though scarred by the conflict, began to heal as the darkness receded. Goku, exhausted but victorious, collapsed to his knees, his Super Saiyan form fading as he returned to his base state. His friends rushed to his side, their relief and admiration evident in their expressions. "You did it, Goku," Gohan exclaimed, tears streaming down his face. Vegeta, though reluctant to admit it, nodded in acknowledgement. "Not bad, Kakarot," he said gruffly. The universe, once on the brink of destruction, was now safe, thanks to Goku's unwavering courage and determination. In the days that followed, the dynamics of the universe shifted. The Z-fighters, inspired by Goku's heroism, redoubled their efforts to protect the innocent and uphold justice. Zarkon's defeat sent a clear message to other would-be conquerors: the power of the Saiyan spirit was not to be underestimated. Goku, ever humble, reflected on the battle and the lessons he had learned. He knew that his journey was far from over, and that new challenges awaited him. But for now, he allowed himself a moment of peace, surrounded by the people he loved. The universe had been forever changed by his actions, and the legacy of the Super Saiyan would endure for generations to come.